Holy crap. Hey guys, so we're finally gonna be touching the RB engine, right? And there's a couple of things I actually noticed when I was like putting it on the engine stand. So a little backstory. When I went to go buy my trans, this engine and another engine came in as like a bundle deal. So, but I was told from the owner I bought it from, because he bought this from the other owner, that this was a running motor. That's why I remember that he was telling me. And, you know, he has no idea what's inside and stuff like that. So, but I could tell right away as I was putting it all together, there's small stuff that you could figure out. Like if you guys look right here, AN fitting adapters, right? Where this would be the drain for the turbo. This is, I believe it's the oil inlet. But I also noticed that they blocked off the cooling lines to the turbo. So that got me thinking they were running only an oil-based turbo setup, right? Which like the first thing I think of is like, you know, precision, right? Because Garrett's, you know, we like to use the cooling. So that was a really interesting choice, right? And then if you look over here, there's nothing different on the oil setup. That's stock. See, yeah, look, they blocked it off right here, right? That just confirms that they were running a non-coolant setup here. And then if you guys look right here, do you guys see that shiny? That's an aftermarket head gasket. So this was lifted up, right, or cracked open. This is the clutch that came in. But this is also the backing plate. Backing plate's kind of, you know, seen better days. But this clutch right here, it's not your factory clutch. It's like one of those like aftermarket clutches. This is the first time me seeing one of these. And, you know, it's not like the most, I believe it's not the most aggressive. This is just like a single one. But yeah, I'm definitely probably not going to reuse this clutch, right? Just due to like, I prefer something stock because we are going to be running stock power on this thing if this is a stock engine. But yeah, it's just like those little things was just like that kind of caught my eye a little bit. But yeah, everything else looks, I mean, you know, there's no aftermarket cam gears or anything, like, so nothing too obvious. They definitely did some maintenance. Like this water pump looks kind of relatively new. Oil pump kind of looks original, or not like original, but at least it's been there for a long time. Rear main seal looks pretty okay. I think the bottom might be just leaking a little bit, just a little bit. If this was like a, you know, they ran like, I believe this is stock block. I think all they did was ARP head studs, head gasket. They just put like an aftermarket turbo setup. That's what I believe. I know, I just remembered that in part of the deal, well, the original deal, this came with a manifold, like an aftermarket tubular manifold, right? I didn't get it because it like add more onto the price. So yes, they did ran an aftermarket turbo setup. So at least on the exhaust side. Intake side, I imagine they probably could have, but you know, obviously that's just hypothetical. The one thing that got me kind of interested is that there's no head drain on the back. You know, it's kind of weird to have an RB with no head drain on it, especially if this was a drift motor. My plan right now is to pop the pan open, pop the valve covers, and just see. You know, if this does have aftermarket pistons, we will see it on the bottom. And obviously making sure we check the play. So this, you know, two things. My only concern is one, if this thing actually is a running motor. Two, if you guys look right here, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see, but there's a little bit of, hold on. You guys see there is a little bit of corrosion on the valves right there. That's this valve is the only one with the corrosion, I believe. I didn't know if it came like that or me leaving it out a little bit, because I just put this tape on recently when I was painting like the front tube. Kind of should be okay, you know? Yeah, like I really hope this is a running motor, because, you know, if this is not a running motor, then it will throw this whole thing off. And honestly, I don't know what I would do, because I don't have the money right now to just go get another motor. Even rebuilding this would just be like, it'll still cost a decent amount of money. I'm really playing the gamble here. Ooh. And I believe this is a early series 2, right? That's what I believe. So, oh, what is that? That's something new. I wonder if they're like plugs to kind of keep the spark plug corrosion away. Always learn something new. All right, so let's crack this pan open. I need to know. I'm like anticipating, like, what if this is a built motor? What am I supposed to do? If it's a built motor, it really should belong into the charger, you know, ideally. Oh, I gotta drain the oil. I gotta drain the oil first. I just remembered. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I prematurely opened this thing up and then just pools of oil that just comes out. Wow, close call. Damn. Holy crap. Oh. Yeah, I need to get him for that. That was super dangerous. Oh. Did you guys see that? I could have gotten hurt. Oh my goodness, that was a Final Destination moment. Boom! Well, the oil is very clean. Very, very clean. Oh, it looks good. I don't know, I saw a video, like, if there was metal shavings, you would see it. So, just a disclosure, this bucket's not the most cleanest, but I did my best to clean. But dude, the oil looks fantastic. Wow, that could have been a disaster. But yeah, dude, look at that oil. So clean. Like, this actually is giving me huge reassurance right now. Like, if the motor was blown, like, we would have seen some debris or sparkles. I do not see nothing in there. It's the next day. I let it drain all out. There's no oil in there. It is really, really cold today. Oh man, dude, it's just been cold for like last 2 days. So, whoosh, oh man. But now we can finally see what's underneath this motor and see if it's a built motor or not. So let's find out. And the moment of truth, just what I thought, is stock. Stock. This is a stock. This, at least on the bottom end, pistons and rods, completely stock. Honestly, I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that's a stock. All right, but now it's kind of we gotta check the play, see if it's good. Rod bearings are good, like there's no play in them. So I also checked the pan and I thought I saw some flakes, but then I found out it's just imperfections in the pan. Like it's just like there's like these little bumps, and it was just the pan itself. So I'm just like, oh, no metal shavings. This gave me a huge relief. So let's just pour the rest of this out. Yeah, look at the oil. Oil looks really good. Right? I mean, if I saw like little flakes here and there, like that's completely normal. But it's just because I know this thing was boosted, right? And it, you know, I don't know what turbo it had, but for sure it's probably pushing something. It had to be pushing at least like, I could see this thing pushing 400 horsepower, right? Stock block and everything, which the RBs are capable. It's just like, for an old motor, you really gotta take it easy a little bit, make sure you do the necessary modifications. So, but yeah, I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. It was definitely yeah, huge win. So I'm gonna just zap this pan back on. I'm gonna go grab a different pan, clean it up, and I'm actually gonna be taking this pan to get the bong on it. So that's what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do that separately. So I forgot to show you guys underneath, but if you guys look right here, oh yeah. So here's with the flash on. Look at that, dude. Just clean, kind of expected, and what the results I kind of wanted. You know, whoever had this engine definitely took care of it. Like, you know, they siliconed it right. Like I said, all the rods have no side-by-side play, no metal shavings in the pan. Really, really good signs. Now we gotta see what the valves look like. Hopefully the valves looks good. Not the valves, the crank. Nah, Jesus, the camshafts. We're gonna see how the camshafts look. They look like factory camshafts. Yeah, these are factory camshafts in it. Oh yeah, but ARP head studs. ARP head studs. I told you these guys put ARP head studs on them. So they did a head gasket on it, right? And then since they did a head gasket, they just put ARPs on it too. Okay, cool. They look really good. They look super clean. Super clean. Like, you guys look right here. Like, look at that. Beautiful. Look how clean that is. A little nasty. Oh, that's just like condensation with it. Very pleased. You know, like it's not crusty or anything. I mean, you imagine valves don't get crusty, right? As long as if they're seared properly. But yeah, very interesting. You know, I'm learning more and more about this motor, but I'm so happy that the modifications they made was just like minimum, you know? So it's got like a new head gasket in it, meaning it's got the new water pump. This timing belt might be also relatively new when they probably replaced everything, if they're smart about it. So, wow, this engine is very, very promising. I'm actually like really, really excited. I guess the only thing I was really worried about is like if I turn it over and it just starts rot knocking, you know, like that's probably like the worst like thing that could happen. But checking underneath and the like that alone would like, you would see it right away if it was gonna be rot knocking or not. And like you would see bearing material. So, you know, you got to be cautious when you're buying like a used engine, especially if it's not like the original owner that had a car running, and especially if they had modifications on it. So, because not everyone was going to treat the motor good, you know. But like other than that, you know, it's just like I said, like, you know, just like the little things, you just play in your mind like, I really hope this is not a blown motor, you know. So, but no, the guy told me like, hey, like, you know, it's not blown or anything. It's just like, you know, they just, you know, pulled it out. Probably, I forgot what's the reason why they, you know, they took everything apart, but they definitely like resealed a lot of stuff, you know. So, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm just like, I just need that reassurance, you know. If I saw anything remotely kind of like, you know, I kind of like, you know, well, I have seals for like the rear main. I have that and the pilot bearing, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna go as far as like do the seals for it, I have to take the pan out to take the rear main casing out. So it's just like I have to look underneath the pan and stuff. So it's like, you know, it's inevitable that I have to look. So I'm sitting here like, you know what, I'm glad I did it, you know. Just gotta get some new valve cover seals, some new silicone, you know, slap it on, and you know, and pretty much crank this thing over, you know. So, but I'm really happy about the factory. Like, it's all factory. That's what I want for this build. If this was like, I mean, if it had pond cams in it, like, I wouldn't be like, you know, upset, right? Because I'm like, oh, that's kind of what I had before. But I really like to stick with the stock aspect of it. You know, head gasket, ARPs, and, you know, stuff like that. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm just like, nah, I'm not really worried about it. Now, that just got me thinking. If they did all that, they replaced the water pump, I guarantee they replaced that thermostat. And like, I mean, thermostat is not expensive or anything. It's like a good one's like $80, $70. Nah, I'll just leave it in. I'll just leave it in. And honestly, if something does happen, it's just more content. That's how I look at it, you know? So, but yeah, that just tells me like a lot of reassurance. Like I said, I don't know what brand head gasket they used. Probably a Cosmic. Usually if it was an Apex one, they would have like a little thing on the back here or in the front. I guarantee it's probably a Cosmic. Cosmics are like super popular with RBs. So, but yeah, multi-layered. Yep, it's like a multi-layer head gasket. You can see right there. That just tells me that this person, he's like, he wanted to build power with it, but he wanted to use the stock internals, but he just wanted to beef it up. These stock camshafts, from my knowledge, should go up to like 500 horsepower, and then like it caps out. Like, you're not gonna build any more power. That's when the pound can comes in and you can push it up a little bit higher, right? But I mean, for me, like for this application, like we're gonna run stocks. That's like the best part about this. This is just a stock setup. Like, we're not pushing anything. All we gotta do now is to make sure this thing always have oil in it, right? And not overheat it. So that's like the two biggest things. Because then this will run forever. It will run forever if you just take care of it. You know, even with me revving it and abusing it. So I'm still debating if I want to keep these or not. Like, I mean, depending on the stock setup. So I really wish I still had my stock turbo, you know, because like we traded with Mike, and it's like I needed to do it at the time, but it's just like one of those things that's like comes back to like, if you can keep your stuff, make sure you can like keep your stuff, because you never know if you're gonna need them or not. But yeah, other than that, I'm very happy. I am very happy, you know. So thank you guys for watching. Nothing too much to show right now, but it's like this video definitely could have been a totally different vibe. Right? It could have been like, well guys, I am screwed. Yeah, so Pink 240 is not going to be coming alive anytime soon, but this is very, very good signs. So I'm very, very happy. Whew, I can sleep at night a little bit.